Hello brothers and sisters, welcome to another episode here on Dangerous African Confessions HD. In this episode, we have the continuation of the confession from our brother who was sharing with us the abominable things he did with his own biological mother in order to make wealth. In the previous episode, he made us to know the kind of pain and the suffering they have been through as a result of what his father had done even before he met his mother. This, he said, led into the hardship and even the death of his senior brother, as it was revealed to him when he went for consultations. He reveals to us how far he went with his mother and the things he and the mother were able to accumulate together as a result of this abomination. He tells us the conditions that his own mother is giving him now that he wants to settle down with a woman that he has fallen in love with. Will he give in to his mother or break whatever it is between them and follow his heart? Let us go and find out in this intriguing confession. As part of our policy, I've edited the names, locations to hide their identity. Without wasting much of your time, let's go and listen to the story.
The man now told us that, my father, when he was still not married to her, had a woman in his life. And he for whatever reason slept with the woman's daughter and got her pregnant. And to avoid the disgrace, gave the daughter medicine to abort the pregnancy, but the girl didn't make it. Because of this pain, the lady cursed my father that, any child he will give birth to, when that child is of the same age as her daughter was, that child will die and there will never be money in the life of my father and his generations. So, all these problems we are facing is as a result of my husband's life that he had lived before meeting me. No problem, I cannot make my son walk in this world as a poor person. Do whatever you must do. I will know what to do. She said this and left the man's place. I came to her in the house and asked what she meant by he should do what he will have to do. She said that, if sleeping with her is the only way to break that curse on my so that I can have something to feed myself and feed her too, she will gladly do it. Honestly, I felt I didn't know the woman I knew as my mother again. How can she agree to this thing? I wanted to make her understand that, we should just let it be and try to see a new way to solve our problems. My mother now asked me something. She asked me if what the man told us was true or not. She again asked me if what he promised he would do for me to be healed, it came true or not. After everything that she asked me, she told me that she was tired and didn't want to see her only son, which is me, die in poverty. If the only remedy is for us to go to bed and do what the man is saying, she doesn't mind at all. She got up and told me to make up my mind and come to terms with reality. She went inside the room, leaving me alone to think about what at all is happening. The next morning, she asked me if I was ready to start what the man said. I told her I won't do it. Because there was no way I was going to lie naked with my mother, and not to talk of having to have a penetration inside of her. My mother never talked to me again for almost about a week in the house. And because there wasn't any much money on us, I would always go to my friend's place, and the little I would get from him, I would use that to buy food for the house. But whenever I bring food to the house, she will never touch the food. She will watch me eat the food. One evening, after eating as usual from the money I took from my friend, my mother then asked me if the kind of life that I was living, I was happy with. She told me that, the next morning we will go to the man's place and see what can be done about our situation. I said yes, think that this very act will not happen. When we got to the man's place, and we had a very brief talk with him, he gave me something to drink and he said that will provide me with protection against any spiritual attacks going forward. When we had left the man's place and were home, I felt something within me urging me to go close to my mother. That was the beginning of when I started sleeping with my own biological mother. I didn't know how it happened, I only woke up to realize I was naked beside my mother, who was also sleeping besides me. I woke her up and I asked her about what had happened. She smiled and told me that I should get ready to make money because, in fact, I had slept with her. The next day, she went to the man's place and came to call me. I went to the man and he said that everything has been sealed and cleared from my way and that anything I touch with my hand I will be blessed. But then, since my mother was the sacrificial lamb for my ritual in getting the money, I will have to be sleeping with her every 3 months when the moon arises. That way, the money that I will be making will be sustained. He told me to start a mineral water business and gave me a calabash to always put some money in it. It contained some things that I cannot even describe. He said that, when I put the money in the calabash and on the 3rd month after sleeping with my mother, I should take the money and invest that money into anything that I want to invest it into. He said if I do it just like how he had instructed me to, there was no way I would lack money. It sounded good right there. So the next 3 months, I slept with my mother again, and again, and again. We had become like husband and wife. Money started to come like my money was locked up somewhere and I had just been poured into my life all of a sudden. We moved from where we used to live into a more confined place so that people would not get to know or suspect anything. My mother also started a clothes business. She started selling these clothes that women used to sew their dresses. And business was booming like something else. And our sleeping together, we made sure that we would never miss it when the time comes. An appreciation was given to the priest who saw this and gave us the direction. Anytime there was something that we did not understand, we hurriedly goes to him for more knowledge and understanding. He became like a family to us now. The whole problem with my mother started when she saw me brought a lady into the house. By this time, because of what was between us, I had built a big house of about 6 bedrooms. And my mother was living right in the house with me and we had 1 maid and 1 gateman. That was all. When I came to the house with the lady, she didn't say anything to me and watched me go into my bedroom with the lady. After a while I heard a knock on my door and it was my mother. She called me and told me that I cannot entertain the lady in the house. And that I should let the lady go out of the house. I didn't take it serious, only for me to see that she had gone straight into the bedroom and asked the lady to walk out of the room. I asked her to give me explanations to what she was doing. She didn't give me any answer. All she said was directly towards the lady. She told her that she would not watch her come and destroy what she did not sow. I took the lady outside and apologized to her and gave her money for transportation and promised to call her when I am done with my mother. I went straight in and my mother was so much furious. She asked me if that was what I was going to do on the house. I honestly at that time had no clue of what she was doing. Then she said it that, you think you will sleep with me and make money. And now you will go and bring in any lady that you want. That wouldn't happen when she is still alive. That's when it dawned on me that my mother now sees herself as my girlfriend or wife. But then, me on the other side of this whole thing thought that you are only into it because of the money. So this argument went on for a while and the following time that we were to sleep together came. I went to her room and she said I should walk out of her room. I didn't understand why she wanted me out of the room. She then told me that if I feel that I now have money and can do as I want, she will also do as she wants. She said that everyone should do his or her own thing and leave the other in peace. That was when I realized she wants to prove to me that she is the reason why I have the money. I told her that you are not all that old and that she can have another man of her age and enjoy herself with him. I wouldn't mind. She said no. She will not allow any lady in my life so long as she is alive. This was becoming so much serious than I thought. I tried every means but she didn't allow me to do anything with her. In fact, she locked me out of her room. So in the next day, I decided to go to the priest and tell him everything and what my mother is doing now to see if there is any solution to it. I went to him and he told me that my mother is the only reason that I have money. And by so doing, I shouldn't do anything to hurt her. Because if I do, the more she holds that pain or hurt inside of her, the more I will go down. He then told me that I shouldn't do anything and see if what he is saying is the truth. Brother, the thing is that the following week I was there and I got a call that one of my warehouses has caught fire. I sensed danger and I ran to my mother and begged her. When she agreed to my plea, that day was not even at that time we were supposed to sleep together, she said I will have to sleep with her to make peace come between us. My mother, when we had now make amends, called me one evening to her room and asked me if I really wanted to have a different woman in my life apart from her. I told her that I wish I could have that, but since it won't be possible, there was no point bringing that conversation. She told me that For marriage she will not allow me to marry any woman as long as she is alive. But I can go out there and have fun. She will only accept a child as my own and not any lady as my wife. So, my mother was given the chance to give birth with anyone I want but not to marry. My problem or fear is that people will now start to ask questions about why is it that, upon all the money that I have, I cannot marry. And from what I have seen with my own eyes from my mother, she is capable of doing anything in her life. Again, she is the reason why I am where I am today. It sounds so bad, I know. But at that time of making that decision, that was the right decision to her. And I don't want to break that and hurt her. This is my dilemma. Thank you, brother, for your time. I am not telling anyone to do so, I am just laying my story out there. Maybe there will be a serious lesson for someone to pick from it. Me myself, I wish we didn't start this whole thing in the first place. But like I said, that seemed right in our eyes at that time. Please never be envious of anyone who might be in a position that you are not. You might not know the skeletons that they may be dealing with. Thank you, brother, for your time.
Please kindly subscribe, share and like our videos. Kindly hit the notification bell so you will be the first to get notification to our videos when we upload. Like I always say, these are not just stories for story's sake. They are meant for us not to make these mistakes our brothers and sisters are making. That's why we share these stories with you. Let us be very careful with the kind of life that we live and the way that we try to find money. The only means of attaining money is through hard work and prayers and nothing more. Please let us not be tricked into thinking that there is something somewhere that is powerful enough to give you money without any negative consequences. Nothing in this world is achieved overnight. It takes perseverance, dedication, courage and patience to amass wealth. Be strong in your belief system. Whatever you believe in, please do well to hold on to your belief well because life is 90% spiritual. And whatever you see with your physical eyes do happen in the realm of the spirit before it manifests here in this dimension. I pray that we learn from some of these stories and live a better life. If not for anything at all, it pays to live a decent and better life. As I always say, we are not here to race with ourselves. Therefore, do the little you can and ask your Creator to bless your handwork. Please let's be mindful of the choices that we make. Stay blessed and be safe. Thanks for being a part of this growing family. Kindly share your thought with us in the comment section below. And if you are new here, please subscribe, like and share.